Dear aspirants, welcome to my channel. This is an basic survey C25 scheme. Question 2 marks questions. The first question has given define surveying and two primary objectives. So you can write only, I've given explanation, but you can write in simple verb for 2 marks. So surveying is an art of measuring physical features of earth surface, that you can write, or we can use it to determine the distances, angles, elevation and position of the ground, you can find out. And two primary objectives is to determine accuracy position. We can use earth surface like maps and plans and diagrams, and to establish the boundaries like construction of walls, construction of boundaries and all legal functional purpose, we can use this one. So this answer you can write. Next question will be an distinguish between true bearing and magnetic bearing. So the true bearing you can measure with north direction. True bearing you can measure with the north direction. So true north direction you can measure direction of the line where you are going to do the surveying. So here it is based on earth axis, and so remaining regardless constant every time, it should be constant. It is a north true bearing which we are going to measure by north direction. Same way coming to the magnetic bearing. So this is angle should be taken by magnetic north direction. Okay, where the direction of the survey should be started. So it should be depending upon depending upon geographical location of the magnitude declinations, and which will give the difference between true north and magnetic north. Okay, difference between true north and magnetic north. Next question will be in types of offsets and examples you have to give. So there is a two types of offsets. Okay, one is an perpendicular offsets and oblique offset. Perpendicular nothing but it is a 90 degree. So oblique nothing but it should be an less than 90 degree. Okay, less than, it may be 60 degree or this is 90 degree. So we have to define measurement should be taken right angle, what I told, and the baseline of the point future is being surveyed. Okay, example where you are going to use, when you do the land survey, we have to measure the 90 degree offset and measure the baseline, the boundary of the property of boundaries. There you can use this type of offsets, you can measure. Coming to the oblique offset, so oblique offset you are going to measure other than 90 degree of the baseline, it may be more, and the point where the interest directly to the align with the baseline, there you can use, where you are going to use this measuring the point which is in diagonally of the baseline, and you can use it to corner property of the boundaries. There you can use oblique offset, you can find the obliques, you can use it for determine the distance where you can use. Next question, describe the purpose of tie station of the chain station. So where you are going to, so we need to find, so chain triangulation where you are going to use as a tie line. So we have to do the purpose. So where you are going to use the tie line to connect the separate triangle of the survey networks. So it is an triangulation nothing but it is an triangulation survey. So this is a triangulation, they are going to splitting this like this triangles. So by providing the reference point and ensuring the difference point located linked together, there you can use and improve the accuracy. So when you do the surveying, you will get errors, the minimizing errors and constant across the survey area, and allow the recalibration of measure between the each section of the survey. In one full area you should measure, you may get errors a particular area, that you can avoid. There you can use the tie lines in the triangulation. Next, you can 4 errors in the compass, any 4 errors in the compass. So one is an instrumental error, one more is an personal error, next one is an magnetic declination error and leveling error. Now we need to find out the difference between temporary benchmark and permanent. Temporary nothing but it is a particular station, temporary only, name only indicate it is an temporary. So temporary is a short term use. So you want to make a survey, so temporary benchmark is a reference point established in a short term use, is one day survey you have to do, there you can use as a temporary benchmark. Okay. And it is not a long, you cannot keep the long surveying. So once today you are done, that is finished, that you can write it in the next point. And where you are going to use is used for a temporary construction of the surveying, there you can. Next will be an permanent benchmark, which you are going to permanently, it will be mark. So when you start the surveying, it is a long lasting reference point. So if you want to establish next day, you can in future survey, you can use this permanent benchmark. So that point should be preciously you can mark, and maintaining ongoing future surveying you can use this benchmark. And where you can example for a brass disc they are going to use for concrete, it may be set as in terms of brass disc set of concrete and rocks and national geodetic networks, they are going to marking this type of survey. Next we have to define reduce level. So this is an reduce, it is a vertical distance, it is a vertical distance of the point ground measured by the reference datum, nothing but mean sea level. Okay, that you can define this reference point is reduce level. And uses of contour map, you can use it for contour identify the elevations, nothing but it is an height of the land is a different points helping to understand the terrain level. And plane construction of the project, use it for design of roads, buildings and infrastructure, analyze the elevation of an lands, we can use this. Next will be we have to define tie line and what is the purpose of tie line. Tie line is a server line that connecting two main station or control points of the networks. It is a tie line, it's a center point, it's a connection between main service like this. They are going to connect this, we call it as a tie line, this center line we call it as a tie line, where you are going to purpose accurating position and tying the distance point of the survey controlling network and ensuring the continuity of the across the large areas and linked with a section of the line survey. We can use this tie line, these two purpose you can use for survey lines, means tie. List the two errors of compass surveying, how they are avoided. So there is two types of compass survey errors. One is a magnetic declination error and instrumental error. How they are going to, how the cause of the failure due to a true north and magnetic north, it will be takes place. How to avoid the magnetic declination. So we have to avoid in a survey location, you have to whatever magnetic corrections decline, always you have to avoid there you can. Next instrumental, it is imperfection and misaligning the compass instrument, and regularly check the maintenance of the compass or collaboration align or not, you have to check it. And explain the local attraction in simple terms. Local attraction is an magnetic disturbance caused by the near object, a metal structure, electrical equipments and even survey own tool in the compass needle, which is will affected by the thing, that is we call it as a local attraction. In simple words, what local attraction, a field of an object, a field around the compass influenced by the object cause you will get a incorrect reading. If it is affected by the local attraction, you will get a incorrect reading. How you are going to avoid? So you have to keep a compass away from the metallic objects and regularly check the local attraction comparing bearing known as a reference point. Every time you have to check the reference point of the compass. Next will be a difference between contour intervals and horizontal intervals. Is a contour intervals is a vertical distance of an object of the line of a map. Okay, that is contour intervals. The contour intervals, it will give the difference between elevation of an object and land. So for example 10 meter each rise and fall, you are going to use the contour intervals. Okay, horizontal equivalent nothing but is a horizontal distance between a horizontal distance between two objects of center along with a ground. So you can understand a to far apart from a direction of an horizontal direction, and where you are going to equivalent to largely in the slope gently and small area steep slope, you can use this. Next, mention the uses of prismatic compass. So here I am going to here they mentioned here. One is the measuring the bearings and plotting the directions. Measuring the bearings nothing but to measure the direction of an bearing of the line, reference direction and magnetic north, and setting out the survey lines and ground, ensure the correct orientation of an object given by the task.